Hi, I'm Rasheed Terry, and I'm co-owner, along with my wife, Michelle Terry, of Point Target Fitness in Los Angeles, California. I'm also a Grace Christian University alumnus, and this is your instruction in fitness. During this web series, you will learn the fundamentals of basic calisthenics and resistance movements. You will also learn cardiorespiratory exercises designed to strengthen your heart, efficiently burn calories, and promote fat loss. And most importantly, you will learn the fundamentals of nutrition and how to apply it to your everyday living. All right, guys, for this episode, we're going to focus on the chest. It's also known as the pectorals. Everyone has pectorals, and the pectoral muscle is very much responsible for pushing movements and moving your arm across your body and reaching upward. So these muscles are very important for range of motion and for mobility. Here we're doing just a basic push-up. As you can see, we're on an elevated surface. And just want to give you an idea of how this exercise is done. You lower your body as a single unit and push up off your palms. All right, for this portion of exercises, I want us to focus on hand placement. So the difference in hand placement determines which muscle group specifically that you're going to be working with. So the first exercises, as you saw, those were a neutral hand positioning. So my hands were shoulder width apart, and that particularly worked the triceps and the pecs and the shoulders partially. Okay, so now the other movements, the other modifications, such as the wide grip push-up, focuses more on your pecs, not as much on the triceps. And then you have a narrow grip, and the narrow grip is going to be more than shoulder width apart, or more than shoulder width narrow, I should say. And it's going to focus mostly on the triceps and a little bit of the chest. And then the final variation is going to be a diamond push-up, and that's going to focus primarily on the triceps and then again in the middle of the pectoral area. So we want to go through those exercises. We're going to show you what this looks like. It's really simple, and then you can use it in any of the exercises that we just went over. For this variation of the push-up, we want to pay close attention to our elbows. Our elbows go back at a 45-degree angle, releasing some of the tension off of our shoulders and putting it on the pecs. And again, lowering your body as a single unit, pushing up off the palms. Once you're comfortable with the elevated variation of the push-up, you can bring it down to the floor. The principles are still the same. Here, I have my feet spaced out about 6 inches apart. You can have your feet closed or as far as 12 inches apart. Now, for those of you who still aren't ready to do the regular push-up, this variation allows you to do the push-up from your knees. You can put some padding under your knees, get yourself in push-up position, not allowing your feet to touch the floor. The principles remain the same. You lower the body as a single unit, pushing up off the palms, and also making sure that you keep your elbows at a 45-degree angle. This variation of the push-up is the wide arm push-up. Our hands are spaced more than shoulder width apart, and this focuses primarily on the pectorals and less on the triceps. This variation of the push-up is called the narrow push-up. Our hands are less than shoulder width apart, and this time our elbows stay close to the body. Even as we lower our bodies down, we keep our elbows tucked to our sides. This helps us to focus on the chest and the back of our arms, the triceps. Now, this final variation of the push-up is called the diamond push-up. You see that the hands are in a diamond shape, and we lower our body as a single unit. Now, the focus should be trying to keep your elbows as close to the body as you can so you can focus on the inner pecs and the triceps. All right, everyone, for this portion of exercises, now we're going to focus on resistance training. So now we're going to add in dumbbells. And we're going to go through a series of movements of different variations to work the different groups in the pectoral. So the first movement will be a dumbbell press from the floor, and then a fly press from the floor. And then we're going to work on the bench area. And And we're gonna do those same movements, but we're gonna do them on the bench. And then we're gonna add one movement to it, which is called the incline dumbbell press. Now, all of these exercises work the same muscle group in the pectorals, the shoulder, the triceps, but the different variations gives you options when you get ready to go and start your workout. So watch these exercises and give them a try. This first movement is called the floor press. This focuses primarily on strength. I love starting with this for beginners because it helps build up the strength to have the confidence to do other movements. My knees are bent to create a neutral spine, and I make sure to lower my elbows all the way down to a ground to a dead stop as I push up. Remember, breathe in through your nose as you lower the weight and breathe out through your mouth as you push up. This variation of the floor press is called the hammer press. This time our palms are facing each other, and at the top of the movement, we're bringing the dumbbells together. This still focuses on the chest, but at the top of the movement also focuses on the triceps. This variation is called the Dumbbell Fly. As you can see, the weight is not as heavy as the other weight, and we're focusing primarily on moving our arms laterally. As we bring the weights outward, we're stretching the pecs, and as we bring it inward, we're contracting the inner pecs. Also take notice that my elbows are not straight or locked out. They're bent almost as if I'm trying to hug a tree. This helps us to focus on the muscle contraction. This first bench movement is called the bench press or the dumbbell press. And as you can see, my elbows are at a 45-degree angle. This is to relieve the tension from the shoulders and put primarily on the pectorals. As I lower the weight, I'm inhaling through my nose, and as I push the weight upward, I'm breathing out through my mouth. This variation is called the hammer press. Our hand position is now palms facing each other. And as you lower the dumbbells, I want you to focus on trying to squeeze your scapula or your shoulder blades together. And as you push up, try to squeeze your pecs. Now notice the dumbbells aren't touching each other. This will help us gain control of the weight. This next variation is called the Dumbbell Fly. Now doing it on the bench as opposed to the floor gives you a greater range of motion as your mobility improves. Now as you focus on spreading the arms apart, you're stretching the pecs, and as you bring the weight upward, make the dumbbells into a letter V. This will help you to squeeze the inner pecs and get more contraction. This next exercise is called the Incline Dumbbell Press. So this focuses primarily on the upper pecs. You want to elevate your bench to a 60-degree angle. And as you lower the dumbbells, you want to focus on trying to squeeze the scapula together. And as you push up, squeezing the pecs together. And again, not allowing the dumbbells to touch each other to gain control of the weight. Almost at the end of our workout, I promise. But we gotta focus on core strength and cardiorespiratory. So we're gonna do 2 movements, and you're gonna love these because they're gonna blend in so perfectly together. The first abdominal exercise is gonna be called 90-90s. Now I like to consider these better than your normal sit-ups. It's not a full range of motion movement, but the effectiveness of the exercise, it'll blow your mind. So when you try it, you'll know what I'm talking about. And then the next movement for cardio, we're gonna focus on plank jacks. So we're still focused on the pectorals, the triceps a little bit of the shoulder stabilization, and we're gonna hold a high plank position, and then we're gonna spread our feet apart, just like jumping jacks, but we're gonna do it on the floor. And it's gonna be a great cardiorespiratory exercise, and it blends in with core strengthening. Guys, this is a great movement. The greatest thing you can add to your toolbox are exercises that work on different things at once. So as I show you these exercises, make sure you give them a try. This exercise is called the 90-90. This focuses primarily on your core, not only your abdominals, but your legs as well. You want to have your knees bent at a 90-degree angle, and you want to avoid crossing your feet. Now, your fingertips are going to be behind your ears to avoid pulling your neck as you go and do this exercise. Your elbows should be fully spread apart, and you want to focus on bringing your nose upward towards the ceiling. This will help you contract your abs and take the focus off of your neck and the other parts of your body. This last exercise is called the plank jack. You're going to start out in a high plank position, and your palms are going to be to the ground, just like a push-up. Then you're going to spread your feet apart. Now, the modification to this movement is to do 1 foot at a time. And as you gain mastery of this movement, you can do a full plank jack. This is an awesome exercise to get your heart rate up and do some awesome cardio. Congratulations, guys. You made it to the end of the workout. I know you guys are tired. I know you guys are ready to go and eat and rest your body a little. But first, we have to make sure we get some stretching done. So after we do our stretching, I just want you to focus on the things that you need to do to recover, meaning eating well, maybe have your protein shake, and then make sure you have a nice lean meal. Don't eat any fatty foods that are gonna throw your whole workout away. So this first stretching movement is called the upper back and chest stretch. I know it looked like a swimmer doing this stretch, but you want to go into that diving position, rounding your upper back, and then spreading your arms out to the side to stretch the pectorals, the muscle that we just worked today. This next stretch is called the cross-arm body stretch. This focuses on stretching the shoulders. Now I want you to notice that I put my forearm behind the tricep, not on the elbow joint. And I pull the arm until it's straight and extended across my body. Remember, don't put your forearm on the elbow joint. This final stretch is going to focus on the triceps. It's called the overhead arm pull. You're going to place your hand on the small of your back. You're going to use your opposite hand to pull your elbow over into the opposite direction. This is going to focus on stretching the triceps and your obliques, your abdominals. You want to make sure that you do both arms. Now, as you do any of these stretches, you want to focus on deep breathing. So breathe in through your nose, deep breath, and breathe out through your mouth slowly through each stretch. All right, guys, this was episode 2 of Your Fitness Instruction. What we covered today was that we trained chest or pectorals, a little bit of triceps, a little bit of shoulders, and then we focused on core strengthening, working our abdominals, and then we focused on cardio in the end. Now, I know that you noticed there is a pattern in how we do this. We train either an upper body or a lower body movement, then we focus on the core strengthening, working the abs, and then we focus on the cardio piece. This is a great pattern for you to follow. You can do it with almost any part that you train. But in the coming series, you will see how all of this will blend together, and I just really hope you guys enjoy it. So, I pray above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. God bless you guys.